What's up, guys? It's John Dominique, the Soul Proponent. Today, I want to talk a little bit about this abandonment issue that a lot of people bring up about God not being there, God is absent, they're feeling betrayed and abandoned by God. This is a prominent issue on the path of the soul that comes up again and again multiple times because there's a lot of emptiness, there's a lot of nothingness. And people have the feeling that there is no God, he doesn't show up, he's not there for them, they can't count on him, he's undependable. They feel bereft, they feel deprived, they feel like they lost something that could never be found again. And that's a real issue on the path because we have to be able to let go of the pain underneath the feeling that when we think there is no God. We have to work through a lot of our issues that we have because what ends up happening is we often project the dynamics of our own relationships onto God. For instance, as we're young children, if our father wasn't there for us during a soccer game or something, we can accidentally project that dynamic of the relationship onto God, thinking that God should be someone who's going to be there for us all the time when we need him. God should, give me good things when I get good grades. I should get rewards. We tend to think God's going to treat us like our parents, and we transfer the dynamics of the relationships that we've grown up with onto our relationship with God. So we have these expectations. And when God doesn't live up to these expectations, we're disappointed. Now, what I want to point out here is that our expectations are wrong. This may be hard to swallow, it may be hard to digest, but if we look at it deeply, we can see that every time we expect God to be a certain way, it fails. So we have all these ideas in our heads. The failure is not with God, the failure is with ourselves. So we have these ideas. Where do these ideas come from? We have an image of what we think should happen, what we think would be good. That's not reality. That's an idea of what we think would be good. This idea of what we think would be good to go after, what we think would be ideal, what we think would give us the fulfillment that we're longing for and solve all our problems, solve our feelings of abandonment. We have to question where these ideas come from. They're all in our heads. They're made up. They're images, ideas, thoughts. These thoughts, we don't question them. We think what happens is we're very attached to these ideas. We don't want to question them. We don't want to let go of them. Now, the path to the truth sets us free, but we're attached to these thoughts, attached to these images, thoughts, attached to these ideas of what we think God should be, how he should show up, our expectations, what we think should happen. We don't question these. What we need to do is see that these ideas are blocks, they're barriers. They're not the path. So our attitude needs to change towards these ideas of what we think would be good. Now, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be more emptiness. It's going to feel even worse. We're going to feel even more abandoned because we don't have our usual crutches to hang on to. We don't have our usual safety nets to catch us when things don't work out the way we think they should. We think our parents, we think our friends, we think there should be some type of system there to catch us when we fail. Well, that's not the case. When we walk the path to the truth, walk the path to the soul, all of those are going to be gone. We're going to question them. The truth is going to burn through all the falsehoods. All the falsehoods are all these ideas that we think how God should show up. We don't think God should abandon us. We think God should be there for us when we need him. We think it's like on demand. Like we think there's some type of shortcut we can press on the remote control. It's not how it works. The path to the soul is a matter of letting go of all of our expectations and letting go of all of the ideas of what we think should be, how we think God should be. how we think the world should be, how reality should conform to our expectations and our ideas, how the universe should give us the perfect set of circumstances so that we can reach God. It doesn't work like that. It's the opposite. We have to drop all of our ideas. It's not like God's going to come down into our level. We have to go up to his level. So the way society is set up in a lot of the stories, and we have all these ideas that we think God's going to come do the work for us. He's going to send somebody named Jesus to save us, and Jesus is going to save us. We think that God is going to do something for us to get to his level. No, we're the ones that have to do the work. It's total opposite. We think God has to come down. We have to put demands on God and put conditions on him to make us believe in him. It's the other way around. We're the ones that have to do the work. We have to get on his level. We have to go deep into ourselves and find the soul. The soul is us. The soul is born pure of a virgin, miraculous, buried and rejected, yet still lives. There's a good reason for that, because this is a parable about Jesus. Is the parable about this soul, this part of us that we abandoned, left behind in childhood. It's our problems that are in the way. We're the ones that have to do the work. We're the ones that have to scramble to find God. It's not the other way around. It's not his responsibility. We can't blame someone for this type of issue. It's our issue. We have to own it. There's a path and a way to go about it, and there's a certain attitude we have to have a shift in our attitudes as we walk this path, because without this shift, we're just going to end up getting more attached. For instance, people think, oh, God should, if God doesn't show up, if he's not here now, if he is all this time, he's never shown a single shred of evidence for his existence. That type of attitude, we're attached to that attitude. That's going to be another layer that we have to go through, that we have to unattach ourselves from, basically. Because if we're attached to an attitude like that, we don't know on a subtle level, on an unconscious level, we're attached, and we're increasing our attachments. We can't let go of that type of attitude, and we have to put that attitude away. That's not the approach. The approach that we have has to be humble. It has to be a letting go, an undoing, an unveiling, a revealing, a reversing, a letting go, a detachment. It's not more attachment, it's detachment. So the path is a matter of practicing non-attachment and then applying the practice of non-attachment to the practice of non-attachment. All right, so that's a whole nother level that people don't think about, that don't think is even a possibility. But I'm here to let people know that, there's a way to go about this spiritual awakening. God is real. This feeling of abandonment, it pervades the whole path, the whole time that we're trying to find God and walk this path. This issue comes up again and again, and we have to see what's in the way and see how that blocks us, and see that our attachment to avoiding the pain of feeling the feeling of abandonment is another block, because that's a negative attachment where we don't want to feel the pain of being abandoned or feeling that emptiness and feeling the nothingness. And, that attitude of avoiding pain and feeling pleasure, that subtle attitude unconsciously is a block. We have to let go of that. There's a cost and there's a price. So this feeling of abandonment is a pervasive issue on this path of the soul, and we have to work through this as a part of walking the path to the soul. John Dominique, the soul proponent.